Sally.exe, a creepypasta by Warchi United. I'm a big fan of the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Like a lot of people, I'm not down to the classic Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon shows, for real. Because I think the rest of this pod was rat crap. Each to their own. Sally.exe Acorn, somehow the character has been very well known, even though she has never been in one known official Sonic game. The only time people saw her was in the Archie comics and the Saturday morning cartoon. However, the problem was her fan base says she's neither loved or really hated. I'm not sure where to start, but just to be clear, I would never want to see these characters in the same way of what they become ever again after what I just seen. I know it may sound crazy, but I'll tell you of what happened in my story about that blue thing. I was watching season 2 of the Sonic Sat.AM series on DVD. I was trying to know a little bit more of Sally, since I missed the Sonic I knew in the 90s. That morning, I read in the newspaper that Tom has been murdered 3 weeks ago. I tried to read that news, but the police doesn't seem to find any evidence of how Tom died. One day I was browsing eBay the other day. I wonder if there will be any items about my favorite character from the series, Sally Acorn. Indeed, what I found was a plushie that was manufactured in Sega World of Sydney, which closed down due to the lack of visitors in 2006. Those Sally plushies were very rare, but I didn't have the money to buy her, and my parents would despise me for it. I examined the plushie for a while as the article came with pictures. The Sally even had her jacket on it, was written with a permanent marker, God. I don't really know what it meant. Probably the initials of the child owning her before they sold her. I clicked the back button to return to the Sonic Sally search. Only I want to win the auctions anyway, only to find another article hasn't appeared. Sonic Sat.AM cartoon all episodes with a price of $1 an instant buy. Sat.AM DVDs were never released where I came from. Bummer. So as happy as I was, I wanted to rewatch the show and check out the article. It had no description and no address where it came from. Germany, Canada, etc. It was missing, and the shipping price was said to be free. I looked up at the photo of the article. It was a blank CD. I decided to buy it anyway, not just for the nostalgia, but the writing was great, and I love Robotnik in this series. Well, it all started when the mail arrived. It arrived the next morning. It was Sunday. I was happy to receive the episode and immediately put the blank CD into my laptop, starting the DVD. Sadly, the DVD didn't start, but it offered me to show the files. So I opened the folder and saw a Sally.exe application. I was confused at it being an exe, but I started it anyway, and indeed, it was playing a Sat.AM episode. The episode, Hook on Sonics began. The episode started out all normal, along with the intro. No blood or anything. But the same thing was that my computer blue screen when the kissing scene of Sonic and Sally started. When Sonic walks over to Sonic and kisses his cheek, he calls her kiss not so good and grants her a better one, and was so cute too. The computer rebooted. I don't know what was going on because 3 seconds later, I zapped the blue screen away, leaving the game into pitch black. I almost forgot I was playing a game after a 7-minute intro. After the blue screen of depths disappeared from my screen, it was black for about 10 seconds. Then the logo. We all know show up, but it was blood red, and what makes it worse is that it was slowed down a lot. It sounded threatening and uncomfortable. I had a very bad feeling about the game. Now, the Sonic Team percents didn't show, it just went to the title screen. What did show up was text saying, ready for round 2. When the title screen came up, everything about it was wrong. The sky was pitch black like it was smoke. The mountains looked decayed and the grass on it looked dead. And the river was a stream of thick blood. The title screen top fades off because the rain was rusted, the rims were from red to black, and they were torn on the edges. The film music wasn't playing either. It was just a 16-bit mess of sounds. The Sega occasionally mixed in. It scared me because the bottom right hand corner said Sega 666. On the sides of the logo was Tails and Knuckles, and on the bottom was Robotnik, all with black and bleeding eyes. Tails' fur was black, his chest was torn open, and he had an expression of anxious on his face. Knuckles was bleeding from his dreads, and his fur was darker. A line of dots formed where his mouth was supposed to be with metal objects, judging from his head, and a part with a wire coming from it burst from his torso with incorporated parts of scrap brain, making the scrap one with the echidna's shattered brain. He had a look of sadness on his face. Robotic's skin was dull and gray, with claw marks on his face. Glasses broken, and his mustache was blackened and drooping, and he had a mere dead-like expression on his face. I don't know why they were there, but who was in the struggle surprised me. It was Amy Rose. Perfectly fine, but when she was waving at first, she stopped and looked left and right by moving her eyes. She then feels a little nervous because of what was around her. As she doesn't know what was going on. Her best start as the telescreen faded with a loud static sound and carried on for a split second. As it faded to black, some text appeared again, and I recognized who could it be from right away. Well. Seems like we have a new guest who's about to play my game. Hold on a minute. How's the game know that I'm playing it right now? But if you want to know where the hedgehog is, he's not here right now. The hedgehog? Is the voice referring to Sonic? Too bad that Kyle didn't want to play with me. What a shame. Who's Kyle? Is he one of the computer's previous players? I don't know. And I can play with him. With you. Right, Harley? Okay, that shook the hell out of me to know that he knows my name, and I didn't put my name in the game or anything like that. I was confused and creeped out after that. A picture and static appeared really quickly with the slow Sega jingle. It looked like a red and black Sonic. That must have been Sonic, alright. The stage was called Not Perfect at 1. It's out of Greenhouse Zone, of course. The level started with me playing as Amy in a Greenhouse Zone. Surprising that was a well-made sprite. It wasn't her classic self, but her current self. It looked official, even. Amy looked a little confused of what was around the area. Then, to my surprise, a new dialogue appeared above her and spoke in-game for the first time. What was this place? How did I get here? After the dog disappeared, I pressed the right key to make her run. I didn't encounter those bloody spikes on the ground and from the floating platform moving from the left. I jumped on the platform, then the platform began moving for 10 seconds. I didn't jump off after I got through the spikes. I jumped on the multiple edges to avoid the hazard from crumpling down below until I reached the flat ground for a minute. After a full minute, I stopped. I then saw Sonic on the right side of the screen. Amy became excited to see Sonic and blows a kiss on him with hearts above her head. Sonic, oh Sonic, I found you. I'm scared of this place. Can you help me find a way out of here? Said Amy with a dialogue. Sonic had a grin on his face and spoke with a dialogue. Hey, don't worry, Miss Amy. I know a way out. Come on. Well, I guess wasn't a bad thing, ain't it? So I made Amy move towards him. Behind him was a gray ring, like there will be for the special stage at the end of the level. Jump in it, leaving Amy dumbfounded before she became suspicious. So I did too, without thinking properly what would happen. The level indeed took me to the special stage, with the same music and with hearts in the background that looked as if it was themed for Amy. What was strange that it was shaped in a square and only had 4 circles inside it with Amy. Imagine I found no Chaos Emerald or Sonic, so I made Amy fall into the goal and she warped until the screen went black. The screen started up, and this level has been called Night of Doom X666. That stage name hit me like a ton of bricks. Next level is dark and eerie. That looked a lot like Jumpside Stage from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And the sky was what appears to be orangish red with a blood red moon, and the city in the background appears to be on realistic fire. The training music is puking to from the fan-made game, Gimme 2 Keiki. And was repeating the loop over and over. She looked around in confusion and worried, not knowing what to do. A dialogue appeared below. Huh? Am I at the building? Where's Sonic? She's worried about Sonic's safety, so I move on to escape this rampage. I kept on running for a full minute until I hear a rumbling sound. Then a wall behind her in the background breaks it open. There's a recognizable animal that looked horrible. That had black eyes. All of them had some sense of fury in them and eager to kill. Amy is horrified at the sight of those vicious creatures, so she ran off. But then they chase after her as the music changes into a danger theme that sounds a lot like Dr. Robotnik's and Me Bean Machine. Those rabbits were gleefully demented as they remind me of the raptors from Jurassic Park. This figured abomination were accompanied by the Flickies, who was trying to cut you and feed you to the vicious animals. It wasn't long until I jumped over bombs and bounced off the building with a red bounce pad, which the monsters actually bumped into them, causing a huge explosion as I successfully escaped from them. I went to the gate as it closes it. As I made it to the platform, the gold ring appeared. I was relieved of getting away from those creatures. So I jumped in and warped into another zone. She landed into a dark room with some static. I was confused at first, but I moved on forward. For 1 minute, I encountered a red ring that was spinning on the ground. I was quite curious, so I went in and warped into another dark room. I eventually found Sonic. Amy was happy to see him. As the dialogue came on, "There you are, Sonic. You're okay." But then his eyes turned black with red pupils just like he did in the intro, and his skin turned darkish blue and began to bleed under his eyes. Amy was shocked and began shivering. Another dialogue popped up. "You're not Sonic. Who are you?" And she realized that's not Sonic, the one she knew and loved. Huh? That's not Sonic. Then who is he? And why does he look like him? The other Sonic spoke in this deep, spooky voice. "Call me Sonic.exe. Sonic.exe. That's his name? That's impossible. EXE, the one I saw on the computer, and it said Sally.exe. When I click on it to watch this episode from Sonic Sally, but only to turn into a video game, it became something disturbing. I heard his echo laugh as Sonic began levitating in thin air. It curled up into a ball and began to spin faster and faster and faster and faster until he was like a blue spinning blade. Amy started to panic, but before she could react, he dashed at her, going all over the place on the screen. He really was using the spin dash as a blade, slicing Amy to pieces as she was screaming in agony. As she was nothing but limbs, an image of Sonic with bloody gloves looking at the screen came in a split second before it cut to black. Alright, just what the hell did I just witness? Did Sonic.exe just murder Amy in cold blood? I know that Sonic is annoyed by Amy's affections towards him. I'm sure he is good friend to her and considered her to be one of her closest friends. But this Sonic imposter has no problem or intending to kill her off. The title screen came back, and I was surprised to see Amy along with the other torture characters, but Amy looked horrible. She had stitches everywhere on her left side of her face, just stitches, no blood or anything, save for her mouth, except that she had some bones in her flesh, sticking out of her head and her hip. Her eye on the right was black and with red pupil. That's just plain sick of what he just done to her. Next character appeared, and I was starting to feel even worse when Cream was in the logo. She looked timid because she was cuddling beside the ring and didn't want to look at what was outside. Cream had to be no longer than 8 years old, right? Why would EXE want her? I didn't want to go on, but even if I refused to hit enter. It started anyway. I guess I didn't have a choice now since I can't click out of my emulator anymore. This time the stage was called Kind of Fair Act 1. Cream was in kind of in the amusement park. The background looked like it was nighttime, with lit up castles and fireworks appearing at certain times. The music was playing a slower version of the Green Hill Zone, but tuned a half step up. A dialogue showed up below her and said, "Wow, this is beautiful. It looks like an amusement park. I better explore it and try things out. Seems like I waste no time of standing around here, so I might as well as get this over with." But I had to be conscious of Sonic.exe's whereabouts. So I start controlling Cream by moving forward and jumping on the bouncing balloons all the way up and eventually got to the edge. I then noticed there were no platforms here, so I pressed jump and make her fly all the way here to the edge before I encountered a strange pipe. I wasn't sure that I will go in there, but there was one way to find out as I walk in. Until I've been gone for a spin around a bit, don't launch me out of it, and land on the flat ground and run faster. I saw the spikes up ahead and quickly jump over it for getting killed for at least a full minute until Cream stopped by herself and looked up at the hill. Cream became curious and started running up a hill on a roller coaster track, and Cream was surprised and looked so excited at first. The dog came up. "Hey, it looks like a roller coaster. This is so exciting." I was toned down as she noticed that there were no roller coasters. "But where is it? Is something out of place?" She began to worry as she felt like that something was wrong here. Finally, now I could control her again. I had the choice to go to the left or go down the track. I chose to go to the left. However, Sonic appeared right in front of her. It made me stop. Damn it! I didn't see that coming. Cream looked startled, and the dialogue came. "Mr. Sonic, you scared me." "That's not Sonic, Cream. That's EXE. She started to walk backwards to the edge of the drop on the track. Sonic walked towards Cream and stand right in front of her. She had tears in her eyes and made frantic gestures, begging for mercy. Log appeared below her again. "What are you doing, Mr. Sonic? Please don't hurt me." But all Sonic.exe did was grab her by the throat and spoke right to her face. "Silly bunny, I'm not Sonic." Then her eyes widened. "That's what I was trying to warn her. But before she can say anything else, he threw Cream down the drop of the roller coaster track. The music was now the hurry-up theme from Sonic Adventure 1. Cream started to roll down the track like Sonic would when he had enough speed. The roll lasted for 10 seconds, then she raced across some loops and spins it till she went on the ramp. She was in the air for a few seconds, and was spinning back on the ground unharmed. The music was back to the first track. I was worried that she was still okay, but then I realized I couldn't stop. I fell down further away from the edge. I started to worry, but before I knew it, splat! Cream landed into a ground of sparks. She tried to get away and get herself out, but it was too damaged to go very far. The background began to melt very slowly as the image popped up again with the detuned Sega jingle. When the title screen came back, Cream was on the left side of the logo. Her fur was from brown to purple and red. One of her ears was over her face, and her pupils were just as white as her eyeballs, with black ooze pouring out of them. She also had a very saddened expression on her face. I noticed that the logo looked different. There was something above it. It looked like together it said Princess Sally ate corn and Sonic the Hedgehog, just like it would in a normal hack. I forgot to know that was Sally's turn. Sally ate corn pop out of the goddamn logo, putting on her innocent smile as she waved towards me like she didn't know what torture would happen to her. The game was so terrifying and yet so fascinating, but I wanted to stop real bad, but my hand wouldn't budge. I even started shaking, and I wanted to reach for the power button and turn the damn thing off. My hand just wouldn't move, and before I knew it, the screen turned black. After that, the red oval symbolized the title of the stage was there, but in there was a line which was shown like a heart monitor in a hospital, except instead of a sound wave to show the heartbeat rate, it showed text. The heartbeat was very slow, and the text said stuff like, "I hate Sally. Say, man, Sally. Sally is a whore. Sally is perfect. Sally doesn't deserve Sonic. Sally should be robotized again." And the last one said, "Sally should die." After that, the long beat was playing as the stage title showed nothing but a line to show somebody died. It flickered for a second, and now the title was blank Act 9. A sad, dull melody played in the background as the silhouette of the ground and Sally appears in front of the blue and red-black background. It was swaying across the screen. It was the most depressing song I've ever heard for a 16-bit theme. Sally seems to be nervous. She's going to the right and making gestures that she wants to get out of here. And then the dog appeared above her. "I don't know what I am here, but I need to get out of here." Whoa, did she break the fourth wall? She must have done. That was freaky. But overall, she was right. I can't let Sally have the same fate as the rest of the others. So I am getting her out of there, but by pressing the right button. There is multiple platforms across the edges. I jump on one of the platforms, making sure not to fall off. I made it to the edge. I didn't jump on the platform from the walls all the way up, so I got to the end. I know there was a hole of what this would lead to. I was afraid to go down. I was worried that someone was waiting for her down the bottom. We'll do something incredibly evil, so I turned back to find another way, or so I thought, until the spikes came up from the ground in the swift movement and hit Sally, which would sending her down to her doom. I should fearfully no. The background starts warping into darkness as the screen faded to black. It stayed dark for 10 seconds. Suddenly I could faintly see a red moving background in black grass. As I was there, unconscious, the music was starting to play again. I could just barely see Sally as she got up and started wondering where she was. Her dialogue came. Where am I? Those spikes. I didn't think that it was there. But why there? What in the... She saw that she appeared in front of a background that consists the whole group. Amy, Cream, Knuckles, Tails, and Robotnik appear, all in their tortured forms with a saddened expression. It also had Sonic.exe, who had a white grin on his face, with razor-sharp yellow teeth. Sally was more freaked out than ever. He was speaking in his blood-freezing voice to Sally. He was speaking in his blood-freezing voice to Sally. He said, "Well, who do we have here? The king's daughter. How nice to see you." Sally speaks out with her dialogue. Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Cream, and Robotnik? Oh my. Sonic, why? Why did you... No, you're not Sonic. Whoever you are. Just, what happened you done to my friends? And even Robotnik. Well, out of all the souls I play with, yours will be the most enjoyable. How unlucky of you were running to me. But I have to admit, Sally, being brave doesn't get you very far, doesn't it? You shouldn't have ever come here. But now, you made my game much more fun just for me. Didn't you? I think it's time I put you out of misery just to make things quick for you. Looked like he would reach out to the silhouette in front of him. I tried to move Sally, get her out of there, but much edge will start vanishing. As I'm in the middle, as to my horror, the page began to warp and the edges started to close in on Sally. I tried moving her again, but the edges were became small to move. I walked Sally back to the middle as the edges closed in on her. She crouched down before the edges disappeared, which pummels her down as screen shows Sally fell down all the way into the darkness. Shows she completely disappeared into black. Splat! The red writing appeared on the screen again, only it was dripping like blood, and was croaked, "Sonic, my love." Suddenly, a familiar scene faded in. I recognized it immediately. Sonic Said was playing from where the CD cut off. It had a reddish shade, and Sonic had these black, bleeding, demonic eyes. It looked even worse, at least to me. Her eyes were missing. It was like they were taken out and in Sally's skull, and Sally's skull was sewed closed again. Blood was running from her wound. It didn't look photoshopped. It was actually animated. Sonic pulled Sally over, like in the show, only tentacle-like fangs bursting out of their mouths and making disgusting slurping noises. I can even see them bulge in Sally's throat. Worst thing was that they even looked like they were enjoying it. And for a moment, I think I was too. I could see the corrupted Tails and Knuckles in the background too, so I could pull away. So, not bad. Not bad, Sally supposedly replied. When it comes to Sally, it was a realistic picture of Sally, who has the same appearance like I saw in the episode, but with sharp teeth. I gagged and looked away from the screen. The static is starting up and cut to black for 5 seconds. I looked back as the screen and the message came up. It says, "Ready for round 3? Round 3? We have another game? But why? Why do we have to go through this amount of torture the entire game?" I got back to the title screen and had Sonic pop out in the logo. It was named Sonic.Hedgehog.exe. He had a crooked smile. He was waving his bloody finger at me and staring at me for 10 seconds. The smile had stretched wider up to the edge of his face. Huh? His name was Sonic.exe, so this is not the real Sonic. That's actually why Amy knows that Sonic would never kill everyone. When the EXE said that he's not here right now, it means it was Sonic who has sealed his fate by EXE himself. But what did he do to Sonic? Has he been caught by him too? The Sonic covers up the screen again, and it was greeted by a game over screen. All the tortured characters have silent expression on their faces, except Sally in the background on the right, who is smiling innocently, with her suit eyes, while Sonic.exe has a maniacal smile I ever seen. The screen faded with a blast static turned black, and then the text appeared on the black screen. Sally does not exist. The game turned itself off, and I was back to my desktop. What the actual hell? He just said Sally does not exist? He could be lying. There's no way she can be non-existence. So look up Google and search Sally Acorn. There were no result of her character. So I look up on every search website, but I found absolutely nothing. I searched for Sally with Sonic and his friends, but she's not in one of them neither. All the pictures, the comics, the show, the fan art, even the hate rant of her, they were all gone. I look into my closet and where I had all the comics and my 2-disc DVD of the Samurai cartoon, but they were empty. I didn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe that Sally was never a character to begin in the first place. Then it hit me. I looked up my computer and then I figured it out. That game, that godforsaken game, something that entity like Sonic.exe must have erased her from existence in reality. I don't know if this is some mind trick, illusion, or a sick prank. I actually wept after thinking that happened, thinking everything that happened to Sally throughout the series Like when she almost died back in the endgame, when she turned into Mega Sally, when she died in the game, became that catastrophe. After a couple of hours, I decided to watch YouTube to clear out of my head. But before I clicked on Google, once the sign said "new character" under the ring logo. That didn't happen before. I was hesitated to click on it again. What if it's some kind of a trick? I had to think that this is going to be a worse nightmare in my experience. I was thinking that a new character will appear, obviously, to be a trap. But as I hate to do this, I double-clicked the icon, and then the game was put on full screen. Alright, if you think you can erase her entire existence from the series, it wasn't funny. So what character is going to be this time? I questioned him sarcastically. Then the text appeared. What's the matter, Hardy? Do you miss her so much? This hit me like a ton of bricks. He wants to know that she's my favorite character in the Sonic cartoon and the Archie comics. exe continued, but don't be too upset. You think the game is over yet? Not yet. I have a new game for you to play. Our fun was only just begun. There's more in this horrid game. How long is this gonna end? Then the screen was back on, and unexpectedly, I was playing as Blaze the Cat. Wow, that's something new. But what was she doing here? She wasn't supposed to appear until 2005 when Sonic Rush came out on the Nintendo DS. This is weird, but surprisingly I was excited. The strange creepy music appears to be orchestral that were playing in reverse. Blaze looked like she was feeling skeptical about this area around her as she doesn't even know what was going on. Her dialogue appeared, strange. It appears to be darker somewhere around this area. I don't know what's going on, but I think it must have been trouble on the other side. But better check it out. Seems to me that she was determined to solve things out. She's really brave for a princess, of course. I'll give her credit for that. But then I was worried that if I lost one life, then it's game over. Now I'll never see them in the way they look ever again. So I move her by pressing the right key arrow to walk through this dark and strange casino that happens to be from Sonic Rush, I believe. I jump over the cliff and onto the platform, which is further up. Then I'm at the top, and then jump down onto the platform. Onto another platform. Then I jump all the way up here and onto another platform. I then carefully jump on two small squares, and I land on another platform at the top and continue on. Okay, this is certainly weird. The whole thing of jumping ups and downs on each platform was easy for me. So maybe this won't be all that bad, or so I thought. So I encountered Sonic.exe with those black eyes, with red pupils and a deranged grin on his face. Blaze was shocked to see him, and her dialogue came up as the cutscene started. Sonic, is that you? Said Blaze. As she mistook Sonic.exe for the real Sonic until she spoke to her, incorrect, and Blaze's eyes widened. What if you're not him, then what are you? EXE then speaks. They call me Sonic.exe. Blaze looked confused. Sonic.exe? EXE then replies back to her, correct, you knew all of those mortals are nothing but toys to me. Blaze started about his words. Wait, us? As your toys? What are you getting at? Blaze questions him sternly. Then EXE answered back to her. Let's just say that they have scummed into my collection of souls. Blaze skips souls then to EXE. Yes, the collection of souls are Tails, Knuckles, Eggman, Amy, Cream, and Sally. They will be my favorite playthings for my playground. Blaze is stunned to hear Cream's name as one of the collection of souls. Cream? No, you didn't. Sonic.exe smirked at her. Yes, I did. Your bunny friend's soul was part of my collection. Oh crap, Cream's death was overwhelmed her greatly, and her tears began to form as the tears went down to her side of her chin. Then her eyes were beginning full of rage built up inside her. Then her fire covered up out of her as her dialogue popped up. You're gonna pay for what you did to Cream, going to my friend. I'll kill you. She spins around to charge up her ability and charge towards EXE out of anger, but just as her hit impacted this blue devil, he suddenly disappeared in a black puff of smoke. They stopped and searching around for the horrid hedgehog. Where are you, murderer? Come out and fight me. She seems tickled off. My eyes begin to feel of anger in me. This thing is tormenting with all of us. Sonic.exe is a monster with no compassion and was capable of killing as he is nothing but pure evil. As it was interrupted by a sound of an earthquake. Her dialogue shows up. What was that sound? She turns around and notices the platforms were starting collapsing one by one. She didn't have a look of horror on her face. I can't let her die here. I need to move, I said. I made Blaze rain off from the collapsing platforms while jumping ups and downs again, with rectangle and square platforms making sure not to fall off. When I finally got to the end of the stage, the screen went black. After 5 seconds, I was in the Death Egg zones from Sonic 3, except the black background has capsules in it. I believe that I am safe, and so as Blaze. Then we continue going through this level. I kept jump on the platforms up and down for a full minute, until I saw someone at the end of the cliff. Then another cutscene plays as the screen moved down from Blaze and the edge. We went to have an electrical hazard down below. Crap, it looks like a dead end. What do I do now? If you jump down to the electrical hazard, you will get electrocuted. If you go back to the way you came would fall off and die. So neither way, you're damned. You're damned. Her dialogue appeared again. That's impossible. There's no way I could get over here. She then looked down in sadness that she couldn't find a way to beat this twisted hedgehog. So is this really the end of the world? She wondered, and I said, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. It has to be a way to defeat Sonic.exe. Just because Sally is being erased, that does not mean that I gave up on her. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Sally from Sally.exe because she is smart, cool, and most of all, she is quick to think of her strategies. If only we had the Chaos Emeralds then we have a chance to strike him down. Then they will be back to normal, as well as bring back Sally's existence. Then we will have a happy ending. Maybe I'll bring back the real Sonic too, because hey, he might be corrupted as well. Well, it wasn't very long until the voice came that caught my attention. No. Then Sonic.exe appeared behind her, but you are. Behind her. But you are. Blaze turned around to see him before he kicked her out of the edge, sending her down to her doom. As she then got electrocuted by the electrical hazards that Sonic.exe appeared everywhere on the screen, laughing. Then the screen went black. I was shocked then to cover my face, feeling devastated that she too had died at the hands of the sick being who killed her over the edge and being electrocuted as to death. I went back to the title screen where Sonic popped out of the logo, and this time they had Blaze in the middle on the right between Amy and Robotnik. Blaze's whole body was nothing but like a ragdoll. Her right arm was covered with stitches, her tail was cut in half, and her mouth was on the left side, and the right has stitches all over it. Her hair was like cut off, and her clothes were even ripped and ruined too. Her jacket became dark purple, and her trousers turned dull white, along with her boots turned dark red. Her eyes were black. It has no pupils as her face, even blank. After that, the screen faded to black. I was speechless. I got Blaze too. Then text came. Well, that was fun playing with you for the last time, isn't it, Harley? Last time? What does he mean? Now you will understand the true meaning of pain and fear. You will be overwhelmed with grief and insanity. All the living souls will roam around in the darkness forever. Don't you feel it? The darkness keeps growing apart. The more darkness grew, the more people will die. With that, the world will be like a playground. Movies will fall into complete eternal darkness. The world will be corrupted. Everyone will be corrupted. They will all succumb into my power. Until something wicked this way comes. And you want to know why? Because I'm in the universe. I'm in the ultimate life form. I am life and death. And finally, I am God. I was stunned by his speech, and now I understand what is happening right now. This incarnation of Sonic is not just a complete monster in this game, but a god of his nightmarish world. But he was luring people into playing his sick, twisted game, play as Amy, Cream, and Sally to walk through their level, passing dangerous hazards until they were lead to their deaths. Everyone's souls has been corrupted into their torture states after they died. The more they were killed, the more they will be more corrupted. So there's no saving their friends, and no happy ending, no saving Sonic in the end. It was just one bad ending for everyone who has died in their brutal death, and they became tormented souls to Sonic.exe. Can't play with so Sonic.exe can play with them as his toys forever. Then the red glowing eyes appeared on my screen. I was now scared of what he was about to do. He stared at me with his wicked grin until he tells me something. You're next. Just then, he lunged out of the computer and he puts his hands around my throat to try and choke me to death. I was rushing frantically to get him off, but he has a strong grip and I can't get it off. Sonic.exe put his right hand out over my soul, then he dragged my soul into my computer. Then the screen faded to black as he laughed through the echo. That's how my life was over. When I felt lifeless as my body fell on the floor, feeling dead, forever. So that's Sally.exe, Creepypasta by Archie United or something like I forgot what's the right pronunciation for the name. Even for it's a remake, and overall, I think it's like a pretty much surprisingly a pretty good creepypasta, in my opinion. I think it's more like an improvement to the original Sonic.exe since Sonic.exe is this one evil bastard, in this one than the original, and I just felt felt sad for Blaze and Cream, Amy, and Sally Acorn get tortured from this demon that looks like Sonic, but wasn't. And even for some cliches, it's kind of a little felt off, felt unnecessary. But overall, a very great creepypasta that was like a pretty good sequel to Sonic.exe, which is also a pretty long creepypasta, like so far. Well, even for Jessica's the longest one. Well, this has been like the longest one alongside that one, alongside Jessica. So yeah, hope you have a pretty good day, people, and hope you have a pretty good summer around this month, or is it June when people are just gonna be get off of school for the summer season. So yeah, so good day, guys, and bye bye.